My daughter's father and I separated when she was just 3 weeks old. He was no longer the person I thought I had married. He was addicted to pills and was an alcoholic. He was also very abusive. As she got older, she wanted a relationship with her dad, but he couldn't seem to get his life together. He was in and out of prison until she was 12 years old. On Father's Day 2006, he decided to end his life. I had to tell her that her dad was gone. That was the hardest thing I had ever done in my life. His dad was so devastated that a few days later, he decided to end his life too. Her other grandfather had been battling cancer for 6 years. She was very attached to him. My dad always made sure that she was loved and taken care of. He lost his battle with cancer that same year. How could a 12-year-old be okay after so much loss, all within 4 months? I was so concerned about the impact it would have on her. It didn't take long for her to change. She began lying and manipulating everyone around her. She started dating someone much older too. I knew right away that he was trouble. She would take off for days at a time. I thought she was just wanting to spend time with him. It never crossed my mind that she was shooting up heroin. She began to steal everything she could get her hands on. She didn't care who she hurt as long as she got high. She even lied to our minister to try and get money from him. One night, she called from a motel and told me that she was hungry. I went to take her something to eat, but I didn't want to leave her. I had a really bad feeling. I found out later that she was there prostituting herself for drug money and was putting herself in some very dangerous situations. The next morning, there was a story on the news about a girl that was found in a dumpster in that same area. The description fit my daughter perfectly. I could never describe how that felt. I would never forget it. I called the coroner's office and they told me it wasn't her. I decided right then and there I had to do something drastic to get her to stop. I began to educate myself on heroin addiction. It was then that I came to understand that I was an enabler. I needed to cut her off completely. She didn't even look like herself anymore. I decided to make her leave our home. That was so hard. She was my baby. I didn't want to hurt her, but every time I did anything for her, I was helping her to get high. She stayed at a couple of rehab facilities, but would get out and start all over again. For a couple of months, she lived with a 60-year-old man. He kicked her out after he was finished with her. I hadn't heard from her for a few days, so I went to check on her and found out that she had been living in a tent in someone's backyard. She finally ended up sleeping in a hallway at an apartment building. It was starting to get very cold outside. She said she was tired and didn't want to be sick anymore. She finally decided to get clean on my dad's birthday. I had first found out about Refuge for Women a few years ago. The ladies had come to visit our church and share their testimonies about how Refuge had changed their lives. I wanted that for my daughter too. I was so relieved when I found out that Refuge for Women was going to help her. Slowly, I started to recognize my child again. She was even smiling again for the first time in a long time. She was gaining weight and was starting to look like her old self again. Refuge for Women literally saved my daughter's life. She had continually failed in other rehab facilities, but Refuge for Women gave her a total transformation. I believe that along with God's help, my daughter's determination has contributed to her lasting recovery this past year. Part of her success is because Refuge for Women held her accountable the whole time. Along with that, they never gave up on her. In the end, I believe this is what has given her hope and kept her on the path that she is on now. From the bottom of my heart, I wish to thank each and every person who has contributed to my daughter's recovery. Your prayers, love, and financial support have made a significant difference in her life and so many other women. Thank you for giving to Refuge for Women.